All right. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. All right. Yo, what's up? What's up? Make some money. Hopefully we get some crap. Hopefully we get some good setups. I want that. Yeah, let me quickly do this real quick. All right. I want that. What level is that? Is that pre-market lows at? Actually, let me see. Pre-market. I'm trying to see what 23328. 23328. Let me see on the. Oh, there's the bell. 15-minute time frame. Yeah, no. Is there no news today? Let me see. Is anyone talking yet? Yeah, that news messed me up. One thing I am proud of myself, yeah, is that I didn't take any more trades. After that, I was so tempted to jump back in. I was so tempted, but oh, today's FOMC. I completely forgot FOMC today. So, hopefully it's not gonna be choppy, because usually during FOMC sometimes can get a little bit of choppy. All right, well, a level that was 23328. All right, I gotta mark that before I forget. 23328. It's right by that. 2332729 23328. Pretty much where that pivot is, and that's pre-market lows down there. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see what happens if we could take out pre-market lows, pairing with that pivot. Let me turn on my. Yeah, if we can take out pre-market lows coming down there, and it perfectly aligns with that pivot, I love to see that. FOMC, the minutes. Yeah, it's the minutes. It's I don't think it's not the rate decision or anything like that. So hopefully the market doesn't go sideways. I mean, it's still considered, right, like a red folder event. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's still considered a red folder event, so. All right, we're coming down to pre-market. Coming down to pre-market, so. Oh, this is a 15-minute time frame. All right, let's see what happens. Drop down if we can get, there's that. So there's that level. Dun, 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 dun. Do you always have only one trade per day? No, not always. It's just typically, I get one setup per day, because I wait for my levels to get hit in order for me to take a trade, so it's just the way it works out. Sometimes Like I think 2 or 3 days ago, I was getting like a couple setups that day just because of how market was moving. But I would say like 80% of the time, 90% of the time, there usually is around one setup. And that's because also I typically try to hop off the market. After like 11 o'clock, I really try not to trade anymore after 11. Just because price action tends to slow down and die down after 11. A lot of times I'll sit and I'll just answer questions, but as far as trading, I mean, if something sets itself up, I'll take it, but most of the time, nothing ever really sets itself up. Alright, so we're kind of rebalancing to that, tapping into that imbalance there. Let's see. So, pushing up into that imbalance, rejecting off it. So that's good. That's good. Got to get away from view. It pretty much tapped into that imbalance, and view op is right there. So, rejecting off of view op too. Let's see it. And I'm looking for a good reaction off of pre-market lows. And it kind of created a double bottom. I don't know if I could show it on this chart. Yeah, I can't really see it. Not on this chart. Let me see, hold on. But there is a previous day, it's not previous day. This was back in, what day is this? 8/7, so August 7th. It's August 7th's low. So there's a low down there that it kind of tapped that low. It kind of tapped it, but created a double bottom. So most likely, in my opinion, I think price is most likely to kind of try to take out these two major levels down here. So let's see what price is gonna. You're a setup trader. Do you think it's mechanical enough to automate? The issue with automating like a trade is, I guess you probably could, but I feel like there's a level of discretion that goes into it. Like there are times where I just don't want to take a trade just because there's like, for example, if there's too much resistance above, meaning there's a, you know, if I have to take a trade and price has to get through, say, a gap, a resistance level in order to get to my TP, I kind of don't want to take that trade, or usually I take the trade, but I size down. So there's like a level of discretion that goes into, I don't know how you automate that. That just kind of comes from experience, where you're just like, I just don't really like this setup. I don't feel like it's going to work too good. But, I mean, you probably could try it. I wouldn't want to automate it. I enjoy trading. I enjoy sitting on the charts and, you know, taking trades. So, I wouldn't even want to. Even if I could, I don't think it's something I would even want to do. Alright, we're slowly, we gotta get away from that view op. See if I can get down there. Man. Come on. I like pre-market lows. I really like pre-market lows. And you know what I realized? So I was doing a little looking at my trades, especially my losing trades. And what I realized, what I got to do better on my trades is when I take a inverse gap, right? When I wait for a gap to get inversed, I pretty much, I have to do better with waiting for a stronger closure above the gap. Because I've seen times when I was looking over my losing trades where I've taken trades where it barely closed above the gap and it ended up being a losing trade. But the trades where it really closed heavy above the gap were better trades. So that's something I have to try to, that's hard. I have to try to hold myself from, you know, but then you're risking maybe not even, you know, missing out on a trade because if it ends up running without you. All right, we're pushing down. I enjoy trading too. Already took 3 trades. Yeah, I'm a bit too early. I look like, when I see it barely close, I'm like looking at it. When I see it barely close, I always take it. And yeah, it's something I gotta wait for a stronger close above that gap. It just prevents myself from getting wrecked. I may miss out on a trade here and there because it ends up running without me, but it still makes up because you don't take those losing trades where, you know. But yeah, when I started trading, I used to take trades a lot. Like, I used to just want a trade. So it was very hard for me when I started trading. It was very hard for me to just sit there and watch price action without taking a trade. That's something, I guess, like, that for me personally, that's something that was developed, I guess, just from trading enough. The longer you trade every single day, you get to a point where you're sick of taking dumb trades. You're sick of, like, you know. And so I mark out my levels. I know what I'm looking for, and I'm patient for those levels to hit. But there are scalpers that, you know, they're profitable and they take they'll take like 20 trades a day. But I feel like it's very hard to be a very good scalper. Like, it's almost like hyper scalping in a sense. I don't know if that's an actual term, but when I say like hyper scalping, I mean like they're getting in and out within like a couple seconds. That's like, even what I do is considered scalping, and I hold for like what, my average trade, I can hold it for like 5 minutes. But the people who hold for like less than a minute, that's like hyper scalping, where, yeah, that's stressful. I feel like it is very stressful. I mean, if you figure out a strategy that happens that often, then maybe it's a little less stressful, because if you know what you're looking for and you have a system-based, like, hyper scalping strategy, it'll work. But I feel like that's hard to find, just because how the market moves. It moves so volatile, like, especially NQ. What do you think will happen when large encryption can get cracked within minutes? I don't know what you mean by that. Is this TSM? It's NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ. All right, we're starting to form a gap here. Actually, we did form a gap there. See what happens. I'll mark out that gap, but I gotta wait for price to close. I mean, for price to take out that low. I'll mark it out. We'll see. There's 15 seconds left on this candle. But oh, I don't know anything about that. That's above my pay grade. All right, we closed above the gap. Alright, we closed above that gap, but pretty much invalidates it. So once we close above that gap like that, to me, it obviously inversed it, but it inversed it without taking that low first. So obviously I wouldn't take this trade. If it would have taken out that low, I would have thought about, you know, taking that trade, because then my stop kind of becomes protected in a sense. Let's see it. So it's forming a trend line. It's forming kind of trend line structure here, which I like. Right? Like this kind of trend line structure. So if we can end up taking out that low, inversing a gap to kind of push back up to this, there's a view op there, so I got to be careful. If I do take a trade, there's view op right there. So yesterday was crazy how much sellers pushed down. Yeah, yesterday, here's another thing. I was going to make a video on this too. I got to understanding when like your strategy doesn't work. Like for me, I figured at first I didn't know it was not going to work yesterday. My strategy does not work on trend days. So when I have a trend, like an uptrend all morning long without taking out any lows, so it makes higher lows all morning long, my strategy typically does not work on trend days. So for me, being able to figure out those trend days, and if today's going to be a trend day, and you know, maybe have a different strategy that I use for those kind of days, but this strategy does not work on trend days. Gonna full port, gonna, oh, I thought you said full port. Crap, I'm reading. Gonna fall again? I hope not. I hope today's not gonna be another day where it just keeps dropping. I freaking hate those days. Alright, I kind of like this. If it, we got, this candle closes in about, we still got like 40 seconds left. See what happens. If we can get, so bulls haven't really been stepping in. Gotta mark sure not to mark it out too early. The bulls haven't really been stepping in aggressively. Like, it's been not the push-ups that I'm used to seeing. I don't know if the market's just shifting a little bit or what, but we haven't been getting those, like, it's gonna come back next candle. Yeah, so all right, so new candle, wait. New candle just opened on the 15-minute. New candle opened. All right, so that new candle pretty much opened right under that, that major level. We're getting a lot of sellers start to come in here. Unless we get a big wick up, which if price ends up, right? If price ends up pushing all the way back up here, that's going to be a massive wick on the 15-minute time frame. So we'll see what happens. I'll have to size accordingly if I do decide to take the trade, but so far, sellers are very aggressive. We're stepping in and they're pushing it lower and lower. They're not, no sign of bulls stepping in to push it back up. But yeah, I hate those days. Where should you enter? I only stand volume balance. It's the same as yesterday. I hope it's not the same as yesterday. Crap. Where should you enter? I only understand volume balance. So when I look at volume, so the way I enter the trades, right? This strategy that I'm looking for on this trade would have been a major level. So for example, this is pre-market lows pretty much. There's another low that it didn't take out, but you got pre-market lows right there. Right? I marked it a little bit lower than pre-market just because of that the other level that it didn't take out. There's another major level that it didn't take out. Let me make sure I 30, because I want to, if I do take a trade, I move that line. 28. Hold on. Okay, we're good. So like I mark out a major level, and what I look for price to do is essentially come down into that major level, and then I want buyers to start to step in to potentially get a reversal off that level. Because a lot of times what you see in the market is it likes to take out a major level, and then it takes out like the liquidity and moves in the opposite direction. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So far, it looks like it's getting invalidated. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's still a possibility if this pushes up heavy. The only thing is, the farther it pushes down, right, it gets to a certain point where the risk to reward doesn't make sense anymore. So, like at this point right here, right, you're risking Shoot, let me see. So 20. So 160. So that's like 162. Yeah. The risk would kind of it's getting to the point where it almost isn't worth it, but like if it did close, my stop would be right. Technically, I would have a hard stop below the major low, but I would get out early if it did close back below the gap. So technically, it would be a lot less. I would have a stop at the very lows, just as a if some kind of news event hits. That's like worst case scenario stop out. But usually I get I'll get out earlier. So the risk to reward is a little better than where my stop would be. Still pushing down. There's no sign of it going. Is day trading hard? Yeah, it's hard. No matter what somebody tells you. Actually, speaking of that, I saw a video. Gosh, these kind of, I don't know why these videos, they like piss me off. Hold on just a second. Do you only do it for the longs? No, it's the shorts too. I mark out major levels on highs and lows. So if we're at a high, I'm looking for shorts. If we're at a low, I'm looking for longs, right? My goal is to buy low and sell high. I don't wanna buy high and then sell low, like some people do. Well, speaking of, somebody asked, is day trading hard? Here's the thing, right? I saw on TikTok, some trader posted a video and he's like, man, trading is kind of getting a little, it's just easy. It's getting a little boring. It's too easy. I'm just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Like, saying something like that, can you imagine somebody working at a hedge fund, trading hundreds of millions of dollars going, man, the most professional traders in the world that make the most money from trading, man, trading's getting a little too easy. This is getting a little boring. I mean, I'm making millions of dollars a day. Like, this is too easy. I don't like this. If professional traders aren't saying that because they all know it's hard, then yeah, some TikTok trader, apparently for him, it's too freaking easy. Trading is too easy for him. Somehow he's freaking cracked it where oh man, I hate those, like, I don't know. Trading is hard, right? Anything that you have a possibility of making a lot of money in, right? It's not going to be easy. There's a reason that so many people lose money day trading. It's not because it's easy. Is it possible to get to a level where you're, making good money trading? Of course it is. But it takes a lot of, it takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of watching price action. It's experience in a sense of watching price, risk management, developing your psychology over time. From where I started in trading to where I am now, my psychology and risk management has like 10x'd. So, yeah, day trading is the hardest, mentally challenging, frustrating thing ever. It for sure is. God damn, we've taken even more than yesterday. Yeah, this freaking sucks. I don't like this. Like, what I want to do is potentially get more accounts to have, to trade. So I want different accounts for different strategies. There's a strategy kind of where I've been noticing, right? So obviously this strategy that I look for, and then there's another strategy that like I would want to have another set of accounts to possibly trade. Maybe I'll go with a different prop firm. But like a break of a low retest, meaning you see like here, what happened here, kind of something like this. So when we have a low like this that gets broken very heavy, right? A lot of times what price will tend to do is it'll pop back up and kind of retest this. So like I said before, old support turns into new resistance. So it breaks an old support level, comes back up to test that old support level as a new resistance to continue going down. So I'm thinking of getting some accounts to try to test this strategy. Because this strategy, doesn't happen too often. It happens like once, sometimes on a good day, twice a day. So in a session. But I kind of like this. I've been seeing this a lot, and like something like this, right? Break of a major level, come back in, retest that level to continue going lower. You didn't take shorts? No, I didn't. I was looking for buyers to start stepping in at these lows, right? A lot of times what we'll see is, holy crap, dude! I didn't notice how, dang, I did not notice how far it pushed down. A lot of times you'll see pre-market lows, right? It gets swept, and then buyers start stepping in aggressively to push it back up. That's what I was looking for. Apparently, buyers, I guess the bulls took they're all on vacation at a lake house today. I don't know. No, they're nowhere to be seen. Sellers are just freaking hammering it today. Yesterday too, same freaking thing. Is your trade even still on? I didn't take a trade. I stayed. There was no trade for me to take. That's basically my strategy. Wait for a break and retest. It's a good strategy. It for sure is. Because then you're... And especially if you have a bias, and your bias is... If we're below VWAP, we're bearish, right? Anytime we're below VWAP, we're pretty bearish. Anytime we're above VWAP, we're considered bullish. So if you incorporate... Okay, if we're below VWAP, I'm only looking for shorts. If we're above VWAP, only looking for longs. With that break and retest strategy, it can work very well. Especially with what happened this morning like this, right? This was especially a good short for a break and retest strategy because look what happened. VWAP is right there. So it literally broke VWAP very heavily, came back and retested VWAP to go lower. And that's like pretty much the perfect short right there, that retest. You would have caught the perfect short. But I didn't take a short. I'm thinking of getting other accounts. I'm gonna somehow maybe get more accounts and just have that break and retest strategy that I use. Like obviously I haven't traded that strategy, so I don't know how good I would do with it, because that's not a strategy that I've really, traded. Something I would really love to do though. Because I've just been seeing it happen so often, especially these past like 3 days with price action, especially when price action moves in one direction. When price action moves in one direction, just makes higher lows, or lower highs. Great strategy to use on those kind of days. Buying power coming in 10. Wait, do we have another? I didn't check. Hold on, let me check. Let me check real quick on all right, I gotta check on my other chart and mark it out on this chart. I forgot to set the time. It only goes back 3 days on this chart. I was gonna change it to allow more data. All right, it's bouncing off that pivot. Do we have a major level at that pivot? Let me look real quick. We have on. All right. Let's see real quick. No, the next major level is kind of buyers are next major level. I would want this level though. Shoot. Ah, man. I like this one better. That 23,044. 23,044. That's I like that level the most. 23. Wait, what? 20. My 23. Low is 23,045. 23. Oh, I'm tripping. 23,045. Dang, man. That's far down there. That next level is right there, 23,045. And then we have another level at 23,107. 23,107. Hold on. Sorry, let me mark these levels out just to see what price is going to do. That 23, freaking I already forgot. 23,107. 23,107. All right, it's like right there. I prefer that lower one just because we have that liquidity down there. Hold on, give me a second. Let me. Bulls join the sellers. Yeah, seems like all the bulls switched teams today and yesterday. All right, what are you trading? Could you display that somewhere? Yeah, I need to put it in the... I have it when you initially join. There's a thing that pops up that says day trading NQ. But I guess some people just don't see it. They don't pay attention. It's NASDAQ futures. But NASDAQ futures is what I'm trading. We have structure forming, but... It's holding that. Dude, these pivot points hold really... Look at this. Like, I don't take trades off of these pivot points, but look how well it's holding. What's the move? I'm waiting for a major low to get swept. Initially, I was looking for this low to get swept. Never got an entry. Price just... Bulls didn't step in, so I stayed out of that trade. Now I'm looking for a couple other major levels down there to see if price is going to tap into those major levels. We have kind of two major levels kind of stacked on top of each other, right? We have this one. We have this one, and then we have a lower one. So obviously, I prefer this bottom one just because if it takes out this major level and then kind of pushes up and then breaks down to retest this one. So, like, hypothetically, if it only tapped this first one, I would go in, but with small size. Just in case it wants to go back down for this, you know, this last one. But, and then this last one, I would probably go in a little bit heavier, depending on how structure is and at the time. It's hard to say. I take my position sizes are based on how the market looks at the time. Like, how much resistance is there in order for price to get to my TP? That's how I determine if I should go in small size or heavy size or... But, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, price is, what time is it? Alright, 10 o'clock, right? 10 a.m. reversal? I hope not. Well, I hope it comes back down at least to... But, like I said, remember, 10 o'clock, NASDAQ, for some reason, at 10 a.m., the hourly candle opens up and a lot of bulls start stepping in at 10 a.m. I don't know if they come back from their morning coffee break or something, but bulls step in. A lot of times you'll see around 10 a.m. that reversal. I'm hoping that's not what's happening now. They're leaving me. I want to join the party, but it's not taking out a low. See, so like a break and retest could be like, if we form a structure, if we would break out of that structure very heavy, come back and retest that structure as support, you know, to go higher. But that's like a different strategy that I'm thinking about, getting a different set of accounts to use. Each candle represents what? Each candle represents, on this chart right here, each candle, this is a 1 minute chart. So each candle represents 1 minute of data. If I switch to a 15-minute chart, right, obviously, each candle represents 15 minutes of price action. Yeah, no problem, no problem. 10 a.m. candle. That's because a lot of stocks reports get published. Is that why? I guess a lot of times we have news at 10 a.m. too. 10 a.m. is a big news time. Hourly candle, but yeah, I didn't know about the stock. Stock reports get published at 10. Yeah, I always wondered that. Like, I've traded for, and here's the thing, 10:30 too. 10:30. A lot of times, for some reason, 10:30, reversal time. And if you go and backtest, do this sometime, right? Look at 10 a.m. and 10:30. And how many times in past history has around 10 a.m. we got bullish action, and around 10:30 we got bearish action. Like we had a sell-off around 10:30. Look how many times that's happened. All right, we're coming back down. Gosh, these bears. No chill, man. No chill. Like, golly, what's going on with the market lately? Look at this. Look at the 15-minute chart. Look what happened. Bro, look at this sell-off. I mean, the market's just been, what, ever since 9:45 yesterday, right? Yesterday, 9:45, we had that break. And look at the sell-off ever since yesterday's 9:45 break. And then same thing is happening freaking today as yesterday. 9:45 pretty much. Well, 10 a.m. But look at this. Ever since market opened, we just been on a straight downtrend with no sign of any movement up. I gotta be careful with my strategy today because, like I said, trend down days where it doesn't take out levels are not good days. And if I do take profit, like if I take a trade and take profit, be very careful with where I take profit. Done for the lost 300, then made back 900. Dang, it's good. That's good risk management. That's very good risk management. If you're able to take a small loss and then end up making back that loss and more, that's good. That's good psychology too. Understanding that, like, I'll take a loss because I can take another trade if it sets itself up and make back that loss. But what I don't want to do is hold that loss and let it spiral out of control. I'm trading NASDAQ futures. I see where people talk about emotions. Oh, it can get freaking bad. It can get very bad. Specifically, right? There's two bad combinations for people that trade, like people that just started trading, like say newbies in trading. Not having a strategy paired with not being able to take a loss are the two deadliest things you can have in beginning with trading. Because not having a strategy, you're just willy-nilly taking trades anywhere. And then paired with bad risk management, you just don't have a stop set and you just blow your account. Typically, those people just blow their accounts in like one day. Look at the one-day order block. Let me see. I can't look at it on this chart, but I'll try to look at it. I have another chart on my other monitor that I can't. Let me see. That I can see. We do have, yeah, it's coming up. There is an order block coming up. It's kind of paired with that 22. There's a low down there. There's an interesting low down there. It's at that like 20, what is that? 22,776, which is super far down there, but yeah, there is an order block coming up. If it gets down there, I mean, golly, man. New lows on a 15-minute time frame. So we just made new lows on a 5-day. Made 1.4K, then got greedy and lost it all. Aw, dang it, man. It's risk management. I'm telling you. Like I've been in that scenario. You do that a couple times. You do that a couple times, and then you'll just eventually you'll stop doing it because you just be like, you'll keep getting wrecked like that, and then eventually you'll just walk away. Oh, you're up 3. Okay, that's good. Never mind. Yeah, I guess it depends on your position size. I mean, if that's your like average position size and you're able to make it back in one trade, then see, it's hard to say, it's hard to gauge risk management when somebody says like 1.4K, because like, you know, for one person that could be a normal position size. For another person that could be like them holding on to a loser and not, you know. All right, we're kind of getting some action off this, but no, there's no setup here. Maybe we push down into this other low. And you could see how they're trying to, like, it comes down to these levels and bulls try to step in, but just bears just, it's like they don't have enough strength to keep it going. When is this volatile? A switch to a smaller time frame for more entries? Yeah, I mean, this is a 1 minute time. What the? I got like a. This is a 1 minute time frame, so I don't want to go smaller than this. But the only thing you got to be careful with switching to a smaller time frame is the smaller the time frame, the more fake outs typically you get, right? So if you have a strategy that's proven to work on that time frame, then but just be careful with what the flip, dude. I got like a piece of hair just like. Be careful with not getting faked out too many times on smaller time frames. See, like my strategy, if I do the same strategy on a 1 minute time frame, like 1 minute liquidity sweeps, I'll get faked out so many times. That's why I used to do that. That's why I just wait for the major levels to hit for my entries. Man. All right, we're still pushing down. We're still pushing down. Let's break it. Still buyers trying to step in. No gaps really to we have a gap up there, but obviously it's not. I'm not taking a. Come on. Man, this strat, like, market's just been weird these past couple days. Just put in 3 minis and make a quick 1,000. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I know as soon as I'll enter that trade, it'll freaking, whatever I'll do, it'll do the opposite. If I enter 3 minis long right now, go full port, it'll just straight dump. If I go short with 3 minis, it's gonna rip up. You know, one time, it's funny, one time I accidentally, like my order size, I accidentally put in like a freaking crazy big size, and I'm sitting there. As soon as I get into the trade, I look at my P&L, and it's like, it's fluctuating by hundreds of dollars every second. And I'm like, what the flip is going on? And I realized I entered like 10 contracts deep. So I ended up just jumping out of the trade. Made like 500 bucks, but like, dude, that was like insanely stressful. That used to be because I had a bad mouse. My freaking mouse. I'd bought a decently expensive mouse, and the mouse for some reason would freaking double click. Like I would click on it, and it for some reason would enter like 2 clicks, and so I accidentally got in way heavier than I needed to. So I got threw that mouse away, and then I got a cheaper mouse, and it works perfect. But yeah, my heart was. You better. My heart was freaking pounding, dude. I was scared. That was a lot of anxiety. Oh, price is just. Is it forming an up, down, up, down, up, down, upward reversal? That mouse was rigged, okay? It was set up specifically so I would buy that mouse. Someone set me up. Oh gosh, come on, NASDAQ. Starting to form this kind of a bear flag. Bro, this is not giving any. I don't like Wednesdays. It's just been, the market recently has just been, it's been weird. It's I mean, maybe it feels like a long, it's just the past 2 days. I guess 3 days ago I took a trade, it was fine, but like these past 2 days so far, yesterday and today, today's not over yet, but like this price action has not been it. I don't like it. I hate price action. When market opens and just dumps to one direction or rips to one direction without any kind of big pullbacks or sweeps of lows, like like who's getting, like at the same time you think, okay, market's been selling off, get short. Like getting short at the very bottom when market's already sold off, like freaking 200 points is kind of, we're both literally doing the same thing right now. It's exactly what's happened past, yeah, the past 2 days, look at the past 2 days. If you go on a 15-minute, I showed this earlier. Look at this. It's like a mirror image of what freaking happened yesterday. I know it's kind of harder. Hold on. Can you see that? All right. Like, hold on. All right, look what's happened, right? Yesterday, look at this, opened up and just continued selling off. This morning, opened up and just continued selling off. Like, it's like a mirror image of exactly what happened yesterday. How are you supposed to freaking trade this? I mean, that's like, bruh. $23,043. We got this major level. After that level, it's all the way down there to... let me mark it out just so I'll have it on my chart. But 22,775. They're the bulls. Yeah, that's way down there. I'm not even marking it out. That's not gonna... Like, look, any little push up we get, potential longs. Yeah, it's just there's no entry for me here. It's sweeping that level, but longs are starting to try to step in, but there's not really any entry for me here. There's no like gap to get inversed. Even if I look on like a 2-minute time frame, I was looking for that lower gap. I mean lower level to get swept. Wow, you can see that 2-minute candle right there. It's a pretty bullish candle. Not really any, you know. We have a gap on the 5-minute here, but so many gaps to the upside that you gotta be careful. I mean, this could just be a little push up just to this like resistance level, this pivot point to go back down. I wouldn't bet on this continuing to go up. As the way market's been moving past 2 days, I wouldn't bet on it. Just lost 50,000 at open. Bruh. I hope you're a billionaire. Or a multi-millionaire. So, I'm trading NASDAQ futures. Lots of liquidity below. I mean, this blue line right here is the other major level. After this blue line, after that blue line, there's not really any major levels past. That's a 4-hour level. If I look on a 15-minute chart, I mean, yeah, we've broken lows down there. So 15-minute, let me look at a 30-minute time frame real quick. Yeah, I mean, there's not much levels down there other than that last one. I'm in 32 points, 40 contracts. Y'all crazy. All right, it's just, I mean, it could be rebalancing into this. So I said I want to get more accounts, different accounts to trade strategies, something like this. Like, I don't know, like a retest, like a break and retest of a level like this to go lower. But I don't know where you would have your stop, though. But you would have to have your stop above the highs. Let's go, NASDAQ. Man. Like, there's no gaps here for me to take. That's the problem. If there was a gap down here, I would have took the trade. And like, there's a gap up here, but obviously I'm not gonna long at the very high, at the very top of this move. I mean, this could be just pushing up to fill these imbalances to go lower. See if this makes a higher low. I mean, a lower high, or will it even sweep that high? I think it's going to make a lower high. $60K I'm out. Are you crazy? If you're actually telling the truth, that's wild. I feel like you're trolling. You're trolling me. Give me some, please give me some money. Give me some money. Strong wick just closed in the fair value gap in the 1 minute, definitely going short once I get more confirmation. Yeah, that's good. If you wait for that confirmation, we could, like I said, we could just be rebalancing to that gap. Filling this imbalance, testing this. I'm relying on the imbalance right now. Where does your stop? I'm looking at a strategy similar to like the break and retest strategy. I've never traded it. I mean, like I said, I've noticed it a lot. I mean, your stop would have to be above the highs, right? If you take a short, kind of shorting into this from this imbalance and resistance, right? Obviously, your targets would be the lows, and then I guess your stop would have to be above the highs, right? I mean, that's pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio, highs to lows. So you're kind of, you know, betting on it continuing on lower. Low-key shorted 25 points. See, a lot of sellers stepping in. I mean, if you look at the candles and you watch how the candles move, you'll see a lot. Like, when buyers try to step up and then right away the candle gets dumped. So you can see a lot of sellers stepping in pretty aggressively at this area right now. And then look at that. Boom, sell off. Now, will it retest this to go higher, or it's got to break through this support level? 23,118 kind of level. That's the breakdown. Let's look at Bitcoin. I can't look at Bitcoin. This is a futures, like, actually I could, but they have futures Bitcoin. I don't want to miss a trade. And I don't trade crypto. I just trade futures. See, probably gonna have to hop off around 11 o'clock. I have I'm supposed to be delivering a car, but That driver said he was gonna be here at. He was supposed to be here actually at 9:30. It's already 10:30 and he's still not here. Great. Probably got a car stolen. I hope that's not the case. Oh my gosh. For any of you who don't know, there's been a lot of people that aren't in the car business. It's kind of off tangent, but people that aren't in the car business, there's been a lot of fraud in the car business lately, especially with transporters. Cars getting so I use like a website. It's called Central Dispatch, where if I buy a car from auction, I will list the car on the website for like transporters to pick that car up for me and transport it to me. And there's been a lot of cars getting stolen. The price range of cars that I buy, it's not really too much of a problem. It's more of a problem with like the luxury cars. Just recently there was I don't know if he was a dealer or but somebody had a Lambo. I think it was a Revuelto Lambo. It was like a one of one, like a very unique paint job, one of one Lambo. And yeah, transporter picked it up. He never saw that car again. They ended up finding the car for sale in Dubai. She's like looking, and he sees the car for sale in Dubai at some dealership, and I guess they ended up taking it down. I don't know if he ended up figuring it out, but yeah, I've had a lot of. We're pushing down crazy. Yeah, where if we can't hold this, see, this is, I want to try this. This strategy works very well on days like this, where we just keep trending down. Something like I said, break and retest strategy is a pretty good strategy. You just have to figure out your risk management. Like trend days like this, man, it breaks down a level. Obviously, look at this level right here. Breaks it down, comes back up, retest that level, especially you have a resistance, right? A support turns into resistance right here, paired with a gap together. So, right, comes back in, taps into that almost 50% of that gap. But if your entry was like right in the beginning of that gap, that would have been the perfect entry. But I guess your stop would have to be above the highs, right? Technically, for an invalidation, your stop would have to be above the highs. I mean, maybe you could have a stop above these gaps. I don't know. But realistically, yeah, you would have to have your stop above the highs and a target at these lows. 573 put 563 wait 563, am I tripping? Oh, okay, I see. 0. I'm very cautious with my strategy today because it's not been working too, like, not been giving me setups. These past 2 days, these sell-off days, I haven't been getting good setups for my strategy. So this is the last level. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I do go into this trade, I'll have to go in kind of light size just because how price is moving, it's not getting me anything. All that's been happening so far is liquidity being swept and then it retested off the 1 minute fair value gap. Yeah. It takes out a low and then, well, it comes back to retest it to go lower. Like even what happened in the morning here, right? Boom. Took it out, very bullish close below, came back, retested it, pretty much into that gap too. Right, retested it into that gap to go lower, paired with a view op is right there too. Thinking a reversal at daily lows of 23.045. Yeah, this is a major level. This blue line I have right there. Yeah, this like 045 level is a pretty major level on a, what is it, a 4-hour chart? Let me see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I think it's on a... On like a 4-hour chart, that's a pretty major level. After this blue level, the next level after this level, the next level is all the way down at 22,774. 22,775. Put that into perspective. 22,007. That's like, that's all the way down. That's all the way down here. Pretty much at this pivot point right here. That's the next major level after this blue line. So, I don't know. Could this be the reversal? This is a good area for price to potentially reverse. If it's going to reverse, this is a very good level for it to reverse off of. I don't know. If it's going to keep pushing down the... So far, I mean, how price has been yesterday, it just kept dropping. So, you never know. So do you think we'll keep pushing down? I don't know, to be honest with you. The way price has been moving, probably. I mean, yesterday, it's a mirror image of yesterday, what's happening today. So if today's going to be anything like yesterday, which is already looking to show like it is, it's just going to keep dropping pretty much all day long. Now, that's not to say, right, could reverse, but we've had a insane sell-off this morning. Freaking crazy. Like, this doesn't happen too often, right? These past 2 days. Did you catch the short? No, I didn't go short. I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about getting more accounts with a little bit different a strategy. Get more accounts with a little bit the break and retest. This a different strategy for to use on days like this. But here, I mean, I'll be back in a second. Big move is done. That will go sideways now. Think it's gonna go sideways? So far, it is going sideways. Took that short from 150 area, 4K done. 150. Yeah, it's not. That's a good. It's a good level to go short for sure, considering we've just been dropping. I mean, it's making lower highs, so it's a good area for price to reverse off of, which it did. It's August leading month for sell-off. Yeah, I heard price action kind of August kind of price action isn't the best. It's been interesting. These past 2 days, I didn't like these past 2 days. I hate I hate this price action. I gotta recognize when price is doing this, and slow down, but it's still gonna. I wanted to take out this level. Like what the? I needed to take out this. I wanted to take out this level right here. September could be worse. Hopefully. I hope you're wrong. I mean, I scalp, so it's not like, you know, I don't hold for crazy moves. I hold for like, you know, 30, 60 point moves. It's not like insane. So, like, imagine like a move for me, right? Like a move from, say, like a low down here to like in the middle range up here. Price is pretty volatile too. Market open was so good. Too bad I missed it. Yeah, market open. There was a short. Not my strategy. I'm thinking, I'm thinking to buy accounts to try this strategy out. I'm still gonna use my other strategy, but like get different accounts too. I really like this strategy, this break, especially these past couple days, break and retest into like a gap to go lower of like a major level. We'll see what happens here. I think we're still going for that low. I think it wants to take out this major level here. This is NASDAQ futures. What kind of... This kind of pullback was expected? Yeah, it was expected. Yeah, it happens. I mean, the market's gonna pull back. It's not gonna just keep going up. Especially when we're making all-time highs. When we were hitting all-time highs, it's like, bro, we're hitting all-time highs. It's gonna go, eventually this thing is gonna drop. Scalped it? That's good. All right, let's see what happens here. I mean, like I said, I don't like the... If I do take a trade, it's gonna be small. Small size. Let's see if it takes out this gap. It's not taking out, sweeping this liquidity, but it's not taking out this level. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. QQQ. No, this is NASDAQ. No, I expect this pullback. I expected this. This move I kind of expected. I didn't take it because this is not the strategy I use on these accounts, but this was expected. We're making lower highs, right? So obviously, just because price pushes up doesn't mean it's going to keep going up. All it did was push up to kind of... It filled this imbalance, tested this as resistance, and then moved lower, this old support, to move lower. We got this. Anything other than Force Factory to find news on Trump, Powell, and stuff affected? Forex Factory, I think Forex Factory is probably one of the best ones, as far as I know. I mean, there are probably ones you can pay for, but I mainly use Forex Factory, and there's another site called Finviz. It's spelled F-I-N. What is it spelled? It's spelled F-I-N-V-I-Z. So if you put like Finviz economic calendar, it gives you like a basic calendar too of all the news events. But I mainly use that and Forex Factory. Forex Factory is a little more detailed though. It gives you like the speakers and stuff like that. And then Finviz gives you just the major news events without the speakers and... like where do I go to see something happening in the world if it's going to affect the market? I know there's paid ones. There's some people that use, I don't know how much it is, Also, I never looked into it, but there are paid ones that you can like subscribe to, and they're better than Forex Factory, supposedly. Nasdaq. Yeah, no problem. Looks like it wants it. Appreciate the likes. Thank you. Bruh. What time is it? Bruh. It's 10:46. All morning freaking long sell-off. Lots of news coming out at 10. Is there really? I don't think there's news coming out at... I mean, there's like nothing that's gonna really... From what I've seen. Not any major news. Like today, I mean, 10:30 is crude oil, but crude oil is not gonna affect... NASDAQ. FOMC minutes, yeah. 2 o'clock. Apple as a stock moves the same way as NAS moves. That's just because Apple is such a big portion of the market that, like Nvidia, Apple, these major stocks, if they have bad days, the market's gonna have a bad day, most likely. It's gonna move the market with it, right? Because it's such a big portion of the market. This could go down all day. Alright, we took out that level. Let's see if we get some kind of a setup. I mean, I'm gonna be careful because the way price has been moving, I did not. Nothing. No gaps, no freaking... I want to slap a market maker in the face. Can you explain the strategy you're using? Yeah, I wait for like major levels. So these blue lines I have on my chart are major levels. I pretty much wait for a major level to get taken out, buyers to start to step in a gap to get inversed, like a inverse fair value gap, and then take a trade off that to like a next internal liquidity point. And you can see how these levels that I have marked out, like what happens at these levels, right? Like this first level, what happened? Price came to it, and then we got a strong push out of that level. Now we didn't hold it, we just rebalanced and went lower, but same thing, look at this level, right? Look, we tapped into it. Look at the push we got out of that level. So there's just major levels on a bigger time frame. So I look for these major levels to get swept, right? Buyers come in, gap to get inverse, bearish gap to get inversed, and I take a long. Or a short if we're up top to go short. But in like these past 2 days, in a market like this kind of strategy does not work good on trend down days. In a market where the market just moves in one direction all day long, this strategy does not work the best. Now I scalp it, right? I'm not holding for long term, but You just got to be extra cautious on days like this. So far, no gap is getting formed. So there's a gap up here that it's respecting, but bro, I'm not taking longs at the very top, right? I want a gap down here to take longs above, like a better entry. No better entry? Well, I don't want to buy at the top. That's the problem. I don't want to go long at the very top of a move, and then it's gonna melt all the way back down. Especially a market like today, I have to be very careful where I take it. Where I take a long, I have to be very careful, because as you can see, price action is not in my favor. I lived through .com. Yeah, that's, I mean, I lived through .com too, but I wasn't trading. AI is 40x. It's possible, yeah. I mean, price is very accumulative at this moment. It might manipulate soon. I really hope so. I hope. If we can get like a breakdown below this level, get a setup to go back up, I would not mind a setup if I see one. It's just hard being patient for this freaking... The hardest part about trading is being patient. S&P. Well, I can't see S&P right now. What is S&P at? But yeah, I don't really look at stocks just because, I mean, I don't want too much, things to look at. People think, here's the like miscon, like people see these like, charts online where the dude will have like 30 monitors and stuff. Like I don't think that's necessarily good. Like you don't want too much stuff clouding your judgment. All right. See how strong sellers come in here. If we're gonna form a gap. What the heck? That was weird. Oh, my bad. Just made everyone yawn. Bruh, this market. Well, I'm just gonna trade price action. Whatever I see happen, that's what I do. I don't typically watch the market news or anything. Whatever price is doing at the moment, just tend to trade that. I'm not a long-term trader, so it doesn't matter for me. I scalp the market, so I can look at internal structure and take trades based off of that. I don't need to be worried about like the big news and stuff because I'm not holding anything long term. Not getting any gaps formed, nothing. Get off, bro, get something to eat. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I don't think I'm gonna get any setups. I mean, I'm waiting to see if something forms at this level, but nothing's forming. The way market's moving, it's probably best to just take a, to just hop off. Bro, this has gotta be a bot. There's no way this guy's not a bot. Bro, I had one time, there's somebody that came into my chat. I had got into like an argument with them. Ended up being a bot. I feel like this is a bot. You a bot? Bot. This guy, for sure this guy's a bot. There's no way that's not a bot. Or you have bot-like tendencies. I'm a real man. Yeah, that's what a bot would say. Prove to yourself that you're a real man. Prove it. Uh-oh, got a message. See, the bot's already texting me. I got Kramer. This. I don't know, man. I don't know if I should believe you or not. Send the galaxy if you're not a bot. Bro, that one interaction, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I argued with a bot. Dude, the arguments were actually like legit. I thought it was a real person. And the way I found out it was a bot, because you know how like typically day trading, like you get those like bot comments where it's like, this person helped me, blah, 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 and they tag some random person, those like scam whatever comments. Bruh, he commented that. After me like arguing about something, he commented that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just argued with a bot. Now, I argued with a bot, now I'm in the system, so when AI ends up taking over, I'm on the list. Freaking A. Yeah, why is NASDAQ futures plummeting? Honestly, I have no idea. These past 2 days, it's just been plummeting. Straight to hell. I don't know why it's been doing this. I have no idea. Maybe it's just a retracement. I don't know. It does happen. But learning, like, having a strategy and learning, I'll probably make a video on this, but like, I've been thinking about this recently, like, having a strategy and understanding days when your strategy is not gonna work. Like, I think it was yesterday, right? I knew my strategy wasn't gonna work when market opened yesterday because it failed to take out a high. When it fails typically to take out highs like that, it just makes lower lows without taking out any highs. Typically, I'm like, crap, this could be a trend day, and it was a trend day. Lower. But, I mean, it's hard. That's the hard part, is figuring out days where your strategy doesn't work. And that's just, I guess that just comes from experience, watching the market so many times that you understand, you're like, oh shoot, today's probably a day where my strategy is just not going to work. So either I have to size down very heavily or just not trade at all. Like, I've had days where price action is not in my favor. I've had days where I come into the market, I'll sit here, not take a trade for days. That's the hard part about trading, that nobody, you know. But being able to come in and sit there and watch price action and potentially not even take a trade, that's hard. And if you think about, like, us being retail traders, Imagine somebody like somebody that works and trades with like tens of millions of dollars, right? Do you think they're taking trades every single day? I can almost guarantee you that they may take like one trade a month, 2 trades a month. They're sitting there freaking waiting for that perfect setup, waiting. Especially if they're investing millions of dollars, you're waiting for that ultimate perfect setup, like A+ setup. They make money when retail loses their shirts. Yeah. Well, retail loses it because, right, let's face it, 90% of people that trade in the retail space don't have the discipline to be able to sit there patiently and wait for good setups. Most people want to trade just to take trades, right? They want to get that dopamine hit. And I'm speaking as someone who used to do this too, right? They get into the markets in the beginning and they just want to freaking put on a trade, especially like, you know, especially like these like TikTok traders. Go into anyone's live stream. Most of the time they're in a trade. Like, are you really like, either you're that amazing at trading where you just see setups left and right, or you're just trading just to trade for entertainment, like, you know. But it's the dope. Oh shit. Oh, just a second. I'm answer this. Hello? But yeah, like I was saying, it's if you ain't make no money today, you're the problem. I mean, that's not necessarily true either, because like it just depends on your strategy, right? Like I've had days where price action for the strategy that I look for, price action is freaking amazing. I'm getting setups left and right, and it just looks perfect to me. And then at the end of the day, I go on social media and then I see a video where they're like, if you took a trade today, you're a moron. There was no setups today, like, bro, just because your strategy, you didn't see a setup with your strategy, does not mean that there was no good setups that day. So it just depends on what strategy you're using. For somebody, this is amazing price action. For the strategy I'm looking for currently, this is horrible for me. But that's not to say, I can't say price action sucks. It just sucks for the strategy that I'm looking for. But like, I look at a different strategy, like a break and retest strategy. This price action is amazing for that strategy. So being able to realize what strategy works for what price action it's pretty important. But I just trade futures, like NASDAQ futures. But yeah. So, I don't think I'm going to get any more setups. It swept the levels, but the levels I was looking for, but there's no gaps that got, you know. So no entries for me. Hands off today for me. So I'm happy I didn't take any trades. There just was no setups. Happy I was risk off, right? Playing defense and not taking a trade is still something in the market, right? Playing defense and not taking dumb trades and losing stupid money, right? So that maybe tomorrow I get a really good setup and I make money, right? But if I take stupid trades today and then get a good setup tomorrow, all I'm doing is making back my loss on the dumb trade. So I'm just trying to be patient, right? Yes, I could be the trader on TikTok who just takes trades left and right for entertainment purposes and just like, you know, obviously this is not financial advice, it is for entertainment, but at the same time, I want to be patient with my setups. You know, I don't want to just take trades just to entertain people. Like, I actually want to wait for good setups to take. It's very easy for me to be able to just like throw trades on left and right, blow accounts left and right just to entertain. Probably get 10 times more viewers doing that than how I do it now, but like, I actually want to be, you know, become a better trader. But, so, alright, I gotta hop off. I'll be back tomorrow. I gotta hop off because the driver just called me that he's outside waiting. So I'm gonna hop off, but I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we get a little bit better price action tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's price action is not gonna be like today's, where it's just a straight sell-off. But we'll see. I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30. So if you're around, stop by. And yeah, peace out. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Don't take any dumb trades. Maybe it's better just to, you know, walk away for the day. Come back tomorrow. But if you're gonna keep trading, yeah, stay safe. Manage your risk correctly. And yeah, peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.